As Green Party Baroness Jenny Jones has rightly pointed out, this is a make or break moment for parliamentary democracy. She's tabled a fatal motion for 13th of June to stop the government using what's known as a ministerial decree to overturn a vote in the Lords. It's the first time ever that a government minister has tried to use secondary legislation to directly overturn the will of Parliament. The background to this is that the government lost a vote in the Lords on the Public Order Bill to change the interpretation of serious disruption of other people's day-to-day activities to mean anything more than minor. And the government's now sneakily trying to reinsert this change via secondary legislation which has less parliamentary scrutiny. In doing so, the government's seeking to obtain through the back door that which it could not obtain through the front. The minister's effectively acting like a 17th century monarch by using a decree to reverse a vote. It's another graphic illustration of just how completely out of control this government is. What's the point of Parliament if a minister can just ignore the outcome of debates and votes by imposing draconian laws on the public? The question now is, will all opposition parties get behind and support Baroness Jenny Jones's motion? Because without that support, the motion falls. This is serious stuff. The government's outrageous actions is all part of a wider trend. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights has described the government's public order bill as incompatible with the UK's human rights obligations. On top of that, we've got the government's anti-strike bill, designed to rob millions of workers of their democratic right to strike, to force them to work against their will and allow them to be sacked if they refuse. And then we have the government's Bill of Rights bill, which will reduce human rights protections and government accountability.
That is a legacy to be proud of.
These are all measures deliberately designed to prevent criticism of the government. What we're witnessing is an onslaught by this government on British liberties. And it's not even trying to hide the fact anymore. The Prime Minister is actually boasting about it in Parliament.
But in the past week, we can measure ourselves by actions. What have we done on this side of the House? We've introduced new powers to curb disruptive protests. We're protecting public services against undisrupted strike action, Mr. Speaker, and we have new laws to stop the boats.
And it just gets worse.
We clearly have a problem with human rights law in this country that is making it difficult for us to achieve our objectives.
We do need to leave the European Convention on Human Rights.
The European Convention on Human Rights protects the right to a fair trial, freedom of assembly and expression, the right to participate in free elections, freedom of religion, freedom from discrimination, the right to privacy, freedom from torture and degrading treatment.
The optics of leaving the ECHR are difficult. You've got the stomach to leave it, clearly, as the Prime Minister.
At this stage, nothing's ruled out.
How are we sleepwalking into this?